Shalom Akim. We'll start by saying all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakwadash. I'm Brother Kara Allah, the other Malaka Mouth with me. And through the Spirit, we just gonna come with the scriptures, and through the Spirit and Lord willing, let's just edifying. See, we start off, or you started off.
All right, Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 6, verse 37, it says, "Let thy mind be upon the ordinance of the Lord."
Yeah, the ordinance of the Lord, which is the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures, which is the whole Bible, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, the Lord's statutes and commandments. All right? Right.
And meditate continually in his commandments.
And meditate continually in all his commandments. That's something we doing, man. We meditate through the Spirit. All of Israel, the hopeful elect, we meditating. Meditating continually. That's how we get by. Because we know what this is gonna be. This is the end. This thing is over with. We just gotta maintain. All right, for a short period of time. So it said meditate continually.
It says meditate continually in his commandment.
In his commandment, right? Doing the Lord's will. All right. Observing the Sabbath, honoring the Sabbath. Observing and honoring the high holy days. It's all the Lord's will. And through the Spirit, we're able to keep it to the best of our ability. Could you actually go up a little bit?
Let's wait for us.
Yeah, maybe up a little bit, because the whole thing is pretty good.
What's that from verse 23? If thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding.
Yeah, if you love to hear, because you have to. The scriptures speak about wisdom when you have to cleave onto wisdom. So if you love to hear, then you what? Perceive understanding. And love to hear what? It's not talking about nonsense, drill music, rap. All right, and you in class studying for an exam for your doctorates. It's not talking about that. It's talking about what's going to deliver you from this kingdom. Where's your salvation? It's talking about the wisdom, knowledge, understanding of the scriptures. All right, and this is for who? The nation of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right.
If thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding, and thou shalt bow thy ear.
Yeah, because our people, 2/3 of our people is not gonna understand it. Why? Because they're stiff-necked, hard-headed. All right, perverted out thanks to Esau, the so-called white man. So they're not gonna bow, not gonna humble themselves to listen. All right, everybody got that I know it all mind spirit on them. That's a demon. It's a proud spirit. All right.
It says, and thou shalt bow thy ears, and
meaning being humble. All right. Meaning when you hear the men of the Lord out there in the highways and byways, you just be quiet. Just be quiet and listen. All right. You get into that 2 ears, 1 mouth mind state. And it's not saying putting the man on a pedestal, but it's saying this man, y'all watching y'all shots, dealing with this man, let me shut up and try to understand. All right.
And cleave unto him. Thou shalt be wise. Stand in the multitude of the elders.
Stand in the multitude of the elders, which is our apostles, bishops, elders, the multitude out there in the houses and byways, wherever those men may be at, and the men are online. It's the multitude is really online, because you can really go online at any time. All right, and and check out a live lesson. A live lesson. It could be a lesson that could have been a week old, even a year old, that you just happen to come and pass, but then the spirit is working with you, where that lesson is just for you. You know, sometimes when brother do a lesson, it might get one view, might get no views, you know, but then through the spirit, you might happen to stumble across that lesson, and it's a faith booster. That's the Lord. That's the Lord, you know, giving you that understanding.
And cleave unto him that is wise. This says.
And cleave, and that's wise. That's the wise thing to do. A wise man is going to do that. Quick push up. It's Revelation 3:20 says, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him."
Yeah, that's the Lord through the house, man, knocking on the door. If you don't hear, the Lord's gonna come onto you, man. If you don't want to hear, man, the Lord ain't gonna be with you. The Lord got his elect, man, so that's why you see us here. That's why you see the brothers open up their ears. Because the Lord opened his ears to who? His elect, man. The Lord only came for his elect, man. And we don't even want to be with the laws, statutes, and commandments to our best ability, man. That's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, about the elect. And the door is the mind. It says, if a spiritual door. It says, if any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come to him. I will come into him.
What's the voice of Yahweh and the Son, Yahweh? Most people hear it, but they can't receive it, man. I remember the first time I heard the Lord's name, like that, my mom said, man, this is the Lord's name. Yep. I never buck up against the Lord's name or his Son's. Never. Because that's the true name of the Lord and his Son.
Come. It says, I will come into him and will sup with him and he with me.
So the Lord gonna come and sup with us, man. The Lord gonna come in your mind when you're by yourself or when you're already teaching. You get a special spirit when you're already teaching. Somebody's already by themselves. Somebody's teaching with different brothers. The Lord gonna sup with you while you teaching all this. The Lord made a promise, man. He's gonna protect us too. His prophets that's already teaching.
Yeah. It's I gotta read the next verse. It says, to him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne.
Yes, so who will overcome it, man? The Lord's elect is going to overcome what? The destruction, the famine, the CHIP, all the stuff that's going to come upon the world, man. The Lord going to deliver who? His elect only.
I got a quick precept. So I can find it real quick, because this is Mark 10:40. It says, but this. Okay, let me go up a verse. Mark 10 and 39. It says, I'm going right back to after I'm done. It says, and they said unto him, Shalakia, Mark 10 and 38, we all shall said unto them, ye know not what ye ask. Okay, all right. So this is Mark 10 and 35. And James and John, the sons of Zebedee, come unto him, saying, Master, speaking to Yahushua, we would that thou shouldest do for us whatsoever we shall desire. And he said unto them, what would ye that I should do for you? They said unto him, grant unto us that we may sit on the right hand and the other on thy left hand in thy glory. Which we just read about. We just read that in the Lord's glory. He said, he's he that overcometh. You know, the Lord's gonna have sit with him. Then it says, but Yahushua said unto them, ye know not what ye ask. Can ye drink of the cup that I drink of? right? Because the elect is going, oh, the slack is, yeah, here, slack it. You got it? I don't know how long that was gonna make that. But I'm gonna read it again. While I'm going to fix it up. This is Mark 10:35. And James and John, the sons of Zebedee, come unto him, saying, yeah, that's good. As long as it's in, it should be good. Yeah. It says, come unto him, saying, Master, we would that thou shouldest do for us whatever we shall desire. And he said unto them, what would ye that I should do for you? They said unto him, grant unto us that we may sit on thy right hand and the other on thy left hand in thy glory. But Yahushua said unto them, like you just read, overcome it. After I read it again, just read it one more time. It says, but Yahushua said unto them, ye know not what ye ask, and ye drink of the cup that I drink of. Right? Because the elect is going to drink of that cup. We know Yahushua came in the flesh. All right, he came in captivity, and he was basically crucified, and he was tortured. You know, he went through hell, but he was that sacrifice. And in all these, the Lord did not break the laws. The Lord did not break the order. So we have to be just like Yahushua. So as Yahushua came in the flesh and drank of that cup, so must we. It says, but Yahushua said to them, ye know not what ye ask, and ye drink of the cup that I drink of, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with, right? Because he died and he rose again, you know, and he went through fire. He went through the fire. It says, and they said unto him, we can. And Yahushua said unto them, ye shall indeed drink of the cup that I drink of, okay? And with the baptism that I am baptized with all shall ye be baptized. But to sit on my right hand and on my left hand is not mine to give, but it shall be given to them for whom it is prepared. And who is it prepared for? So the ones that overcome. So I'm gonna go back and read that one more time. So that was
Mark.
That was Mark, but then I was reading Revelations 3 and 10 and 21. It says, to him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame and am set down with my Father in his throne. Right? So we're gonna sit down with the Lord in his throne in righteousness in the kingdom, in the Lord's glory. It says he, the elect is, I'm not gonna say we are, Lord, we the hopeful elect, but the elect is gonna sit down, all right? And it says, he that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches, right? Going into the churches at that time in in Asia. Okay, so is that more on that? Yeah. Let's continue.
Verse 35. It says, Ecclesiasticus chapter 6, verse 35. It says, be willing to hear every orderly discord, and let not the parable of understanding escape thee.
Okay, so be willing to hear every godly discord, and let not the parable of understanding escape thee. All right, because why? Because you're gonna be taught a whole new way of living. All right, it's to the point where when you in the truth for a certain amount of time and you around brothers, okay, and you learning from brothers, you learn from the apostles and the bishops, and it's to a point where you around brothers, it's a whole different feel. To the point where if a random nigga, all right, or person that's not learned, that doesn't know the brotherhood, that's still in the world or just coming out of the world, you could spot that guy out. You could look at that guy and spot that this guy, he not up on it right now. You know, he might be coming into it, but he ain't really there yet. You know, because you could tell that it's a certain spirit. You know, but it said read that part one more time, Shalakia.
Be willing to hear
Mm-hmm.
every godly discourse, and let not the parable of understanding escape thee.
The parable of understanding escape thee, right? These understandings to the dark sayings, all right, and it's not gonna escape the elect, man. You know, it's not gonna escape the elect, but 2/3 is not gonna grasp the understanding. It's gonna go over their heads. But the elect of Israel is gonna get these dark sayings. You know, like when you like scriptures say, try the spirit by the spirit, right? So you might have these. You might go to church, a so-called church on a Sunday, right? And what the so-called pastor gonna tell you? They're gonna tell you, listen, you blessed, all right. You're not gonna go to hell. You're gonna go to heaven. They're gonna tell you, things are gonna get better, right? But they ain't really telling you nothing. Of course, things are gonna get better, all right? Because life is a roller coaster. It's up, then it's down. Okay, so they ain't really saying nothing. Okay, but when you go into your scriptures and start breaking them down, now if you ask your pastor, listen, break down Revelation 12th chapter, break down Daniel the 8th chapter. Okay, now is they gonna break it down? You listen to them. Okay, now it's making sense. Ask them who's the beast? Who's the woman that sat on the beast having 7 heads and 10 horns? Now when they start breaking it down, and you look, the spirit on you to look and understand, and you can say, nah, that ain't it. Or you can ask them about the chip, the mark. Verse 13 and 16. If they say it's an embargo, then you could look and you could the spirit discernment will come upon you, and you'll be like, nah, it can't be, or it's money or a tattoo. What else they say it is the mark. They got Christianity. Sin. You get that spirit. The Lord put that spirit on you. You being part of the elect, you gonna look at this dude like, nah, that make no sense. And then you might come across the apostles, and they'll tell you, listen, the Marcus is the, they're gonna put it that grain of rice. They're gonna try to put it in your hand or on your forehead or wherever they put it at. If you take it, you're gonna be destroyed. And then you might get a little shiver, like, whoa, or anything. The spirit might just be on you, be like, damn, that's you see, because you see it happening. You see these things coming to pass, man. All right. Is it more than that?
Yeah.
All right.
So, and if thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him.
There you go. If you see a man of understanding, get you betimes onto him. Because if you hit one breakdown and it's on point, then you got to get next to that guy. Even in the streets. Even in the streets, you see the old school pimp or the old school hustler, the old school gangster, you're going to want their knowledge. All right? When you check out that movie that Denzel did, that movie, that gangster flick, but they got the Blue Magic.
Gang of New York?
Not gangster. Gang of Harlem. American Gangster, yeah. He learned from Bumpy Johnson. Bumpy Johnson used to run Harlem with the mafia. All right, so that was a big thing because Bumpy Johnson was a so-called black man, but then here it is, he was running the mafia. So then after a while, you had this dude Frank, right? Frank learned from Bumpy. Bumpy died, and Frank started running the whole drugs, but he did it the way Bumpy Johnson would do it, and he learned. And that's on the left-hand side, Now we dealing with the right-hand side. We're dealing with the spiritual things, with the right things, Okay, the fruitful things. Who we learn? We learn from our apostles, our leaders. We learn from men with understanding. All right, because now we up under those men. All right, apostles, bishops, elders, and we learn from those men. All right.
Um, it said, unto him, and let thy foot wear the steps of the door, of his door. Let's see.
You're right, and let the steps. Right. So in other words, you want to get that understanding. I was holding a few scriptures, man. Let me see. Let's see if I can find.
I got one more verse left.
Okay, you got it.
Let thy mind be upon the ordinance of the Lord, and meditate continually in his commandments.
That's right.
He shall establish thy heart and give thee wisdom in thy own desire. Desire, that's it.
So this is First John 4:1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirit whether they are of the Most High, because many false prophets are going out into the world. You going to say it? Yeah. So there it is, man. You can't believe not every spirit, okay? But try the spirit whether they are of the Most High. Like we were saying earlier, we gotta have questions, gotta have patience, because just because you ask a question don't mean we get answered right away. Gotta have patience. Sometimes you might be out there listening.
For weeks.
Yeah, for weeks.
The questions answered for a week.
Yeah, and the questions you asking get answered right away. Okay, because many false prophets are going out into the world. So that's the false prophets, because who's in control of the world? Esau, the so-called white man. All right. So and what does he create? He creates wickedness. He creates perversions. So of course you're gonna have lies, and deceits going on. All right. And a lot of these churches they sold out because they signed that C3.
Nice.
What was it? Okay, it's a charter. It's basically a contract they signed to where they can't certain things they can't say. They can't. That's why they don't go into the color in Revelation, the 2nd chapter. All right, they don't go into destruction scriptures. Okay, they ain't gonna tell you the Lord's a man of war, things like that, because they signed that, and they're not gonna go into the history. They don't tell the truth because they signed that contract to get that free government money. All right, they sell out for the bag. So there's false prophets amongst these so-called churches, and even in Israel. That's why Scripture said to try the spirit. It says, hereby know ye the spirit of the Most High. Every spirit that confess that Yahweh Shai is come in the flesh is of the Most High. All right. So that's mainly the point. Okay, I'm gonna go back. That's mainly the point there. You got that yet? Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up soon. Huh? Okay.
You get called tax free or something like that?
Type in C3 charter.
All right.
I believe it's called. I could be wrong. I believe it's called C3 charter. All right, but yeah, these churches they ain't coming in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. They come in the name of Esau. And the scripture spoke about dark sayings and whatnot. And we also spoke about getting the word. Because scripture say what? Who's gonna hear the word? What is that? Who's gonna hear the word? I gotta forget right now, real quick. This is Matthew 13 and 13. It says, therefore speak. Let me go up a little bit. Matthew 13. Hold up. And 11. Verse 10. It says, and the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? And he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. So this is only for the elect, all right? Only the elect is going to understand the mysteries, okay? And it said the scriptures we read earlier. It said you have to constantly have this on your mind.
Go to 501.
501?
C chapter.
Okay, read that real quick.
So what is the 501 C chapter says? So tax is a church tax. Says federal design that accept that they and qualify church for federal income tax, include income from donations and other income related to the organization's activity. That's it.
Right. So in other words, they get in the bag. All right. Tax-free money. You know. So it's very attractive. You know, and it's very tempting. You know. Apostle spoke about people offering the bag before. All right, but anyways, I'm finish this up and we can close up on this. So this is Matthew's 13 and 10. And his disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. So these people that's in these churches and just all over the place, just lost, man. Just some loony bins. Guess what? It just wasn't for them. All right. But if they were Israelite, you gonna see them. They're gonna be in the right mind soon. But right now, this truth ain't for them. For whosoever has, it says, for whosoever has to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. Yeah, have this wisdom. All right. Scripture says, seek me first, and I will give you all things. It says, but whosoever has not, from him shall be taken away even that he has. So if you might be rich, you might have a big family, you know, you might have some kids that have some potential to become something, but if you don't have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, then you won't lose all that. All right, mainly by disaster, and mainly by that thermonuclear fire. So you know, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. Again, we want to say all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushua, Bashim, Papa Dash, and double honors to our apostles, Bishop Ellsbury and Millstone, and salutations to the Octave Christian Spirit, and those of Sydney Honesty. So